Welcome back. Some 23.5 small minutes. Clocked 7 this Wednesday morning. Nationwide, continent-wide, worldwide, everyone is standing still for the country Nigeria because we take yet another step forward in our democracy journey. So today is day 10 of a series, a special series that we started with this flagship program of Spectrum TV, Rise and Shine. The special series is about Governor Umoino of Akwa Ibom State celebrating, if you like, an epochal first anniversary in office. And every day by day, we have been bringing, selected personalities to come here and speak to some core areas of importance. And I'm sure you have gleaned quite some value. Today we continue with that series with a special man, a complete man. At once, he's a journalist, he's a lecturer, he's a teacher, he's an administrator. He's been there through all the tiers of government in Nigeria, and if you like, through all the rungs. He has been at the local government. He headed his native in local government. From there, he went to the House of Assembly. And I think he was there again for 2 terms and went on to branch off from the legislative arm to get into the executive arm when he became Honorable Commissioner. At some point, he was Special Advisor, then Honorable Commissioner. And then, just when you thought he was done, he emerged on the national scene as a distinguished senator. He's a lawyer. He holds a PhD in law. And it's a very great man. It's somebody you cannot ignore. He represents Akwa Ibom South Senatorial District, what we call Ekong Senatorial District, in the National Assembly, in the Senate. And right there at the National Assembly, is on record, is chairman of, one committee, but I would like to talk about the National Assembly PDP caucus. My name is Michael Bush. I'm joined by Francis Edet, our leader, our team leader here, and of course, Ime Emmanuel. 3 of us stand together to welcome this special Akwa Ibom gift. Senator Ekong Sampson, PhD. Distinguished.
Bush.
So nice to see you.
Yes, thanks. And you're a great team.
Yes.
I'm very happy to be here.
Good to have you.
Great team.
Thank you, Distinguished. It's very nice to see you. Distinguished, even before we delve into the nitty-gritty of the program, which is, by the way, Governor Umoino, at 1, that's the last 12 months of Governor Umoino, a senatorial critique, which we know you're going to really handle well. Let's talk about your person. Let's talk about you. Why are you so different? Why is it that every time I deal with you, whether it's on telephone or physically, I come away feeling better? I come away feeling that, not all politicians or all friends in political offices are lost, are enemies.
Well, Bush, that makes me. It's just the me in me. I live my simple life. I live true to my beliefs in life. I don't see life as one mysterious pastime. I see life as a process. I see life as a connect. So it's just me, just how I choose to live my life. Very simple life, a life of service, a life that you must show respect to the person. I have a strong attachment to human rights because to me, the world would be a happier space if we attach importance to human rights. So all these, much of the cancer we have in our parts, corruption, abuses, infractions, they flow from a poor appreciation of human rights. When you are in government, you are there to serve. I mean, I don't think that being in government should make you a masquerade. I mean, you are there to connect with humanity. You are there to offer service. You are there to make the other person feel important, look important. You are not meant to run down the next person. to see him as a human being. You are simply privileged to be where you are. I think that defines the who in Ekong Sampson.
Fantastic. Francis said that it will take over from me presently. I mean, right on the heels of this. The idea that when I make a phone call to you and you missed that call, you don't pick because, I mean, you're busy. And I'll sit with some young people. I say to them, it's going to call back. And then you come, you call back. Sometimes I don't also pick. You call back again. Or sometimes we communicate and you say to me, okay, we'll discuss this. For instance, we're in Leeds recently. I'm in the UK. I'm going to discuss this. Then you follow back on that discussion. Or, for instance, yesterday, we agreed we were going to have this program, and suddenly something happens. And you say to me, oh, I have to be in Abuja. What do we do? And you allow for that engagement, for us to arrive at where we are now. It's just something that blesses my heart and really, really makes me feel that, yes, this is one special Akwa Ibom man. But you have been in the public space, man and boy, for such a long time. I don't even remember anymore. Very little is known about your background, your parentage, and your background, well, apart from media, but your parentage, your father, your mother, where you grew up. Did you have a father? Did you have a mother? Where are they?
My dad is late. My mom is also late. We grew up partly in the east. We grew up in Enugu.
Oh.
You may not know that I speak part of the language.
Oh.
I understand part of the language as well. In the family, we speak Igbo very well, fluently. Proverbs, everything. We enjoy their dishes. It will be part of the consumption that is not known to Bush and his team.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my dad was a simple man, lived his own life, minded his business. He grew up in Korabasi. I was called Pemsed. I think that was the name that I grew up seeing being called Pemsed. A very happy man. He died 1977. My mom made the poet in me, minded her business, involved in trading. But she was the poet in the house. And I think when I look back, the poet in me derived from my mom. She spoke poetry, conjured images, great woman, the best one could see anywhere in this part of the world.
What about your brothers and sisters? They speak Akwa Ibom too?
Very well. They speak Igbo,
yeah.
they speak Ibibio.
Yes, fantastic.
They can, they can navigate both worlds.
Is there any other popular person in your family? Because it's just about Ekong Sampson everywhere, Ekong Sampson. Or you just gathered, well, you have a drop of Uran in you, so perhaps you run your phone and all of that. So they say, he took everything, he took it alone. Did you take it alone?
I have seniors. And it may interest you that my eldest fought for Nigeria.
Whoa.
One fought for Nigeria, one fought in Biafra. This is part of the story of my family. My two brothers. One fought for Biafra, one fought for Nigeria. So once or twice I asked them, what if you met on the battlefield? What if you met in Ozuakali? What if you met in Owerri? During the war. It means that brother would shoot brother as it were. And I think someone tried to make a story of it, two brothers in conflict, caught in opposing sides of the conflict as it were. My senior brother is well known. He's a well-known teacher. He's an educationist. His name is Elder U.S.Akpan, a principal through many schools. He has trained lots and lots of youth. He's around in Pioneer. The eldest is Lex. I have two sisters, Afyong and Emma. I come from a very united family, very compact. We work together and we support ourselves a lot. They are very proud of me. I'm very proud of them. And I have a wife, Tina, who is the energy in the struggle. She works in the Senate. Well known in the Senate.
Oh, she works in the Senate. Okay, yes, somebody told me that part of your story.
I'm very lucky.
Absolutely.
I think I'm probably the only senator whose wife works in the Senate.
So she showed
And
you
that
the
makes my
way.
job easier.
Yeah, she showed you the way when you got
She laid the ground.
You know, I was there earlier too.
Yeah,
When
sure.
I was
Senator Odoma.
Udoma for some time. So I know my way around the environment. But she is there and she's doing a great job for me. She complements what I'm doing there. It makes the job easier. So when I'm doing a number of things, she's always there for me. 3 children.
Absolutely. Francis, you want to take a different direction?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I'm coming from the wife point of view.
Yes.
It's humbling.
By the way, that's your senator.
Yes, I know.
Oh,
I
you
know.
have your senator on the program.
It's very humbling to listen to a man appreciate the efforts of his wife. It's really hurt.
And sometimes she drives me to work.
Oh, my.
Sometimes I drive myself to work.
Where's she
shouldn't
from?
She's from Edo State.
Oh,
It shouldn't, you see, public service shouldn't be, as I said, very mysterious pastime, wrapped in mystique, distant. So a couple of times I tell my driver, drive myself to work as a senator. Sometimes my wife drives me from my car straight to plenary. That defines the consumption that is.
It's humbling. Very, very humbling.
That's the
and
word.
inspiring as well.
That's the word.
Humbling and inspiring. I like to come home. You've already answered the question I wanted to ask as it concerns your wife. But have you ever wondered, in our climb where it seems like when you acknowledge what your wife does for you as a man, you are taking away your masculinity? Has it ever bothered you what perception people have of you, having this beautiful picture you've painted? Because even the young men who are aspiring to live that life are being regarded as weaklings who are doing the wrong part.
I think strength lies in appreciating the other perspective, the other person. We are strong because of our wives, because of who keep as our friendships. I've had cause to discuss at some fora that there's a difference between a friend and a friendship. People say, that my friend has betrayed me. What's a word? I think we look for friendship. Friendship is the institution.
absolutely.
And institution is safer than the other perspective. So when you walk around a friendship, you are very safe. Because a friend can betray you, but a friendship is always there for you. Friendship is individualized, it's enduring, it's deep. So our women, our wives have done so much for us. They complement what we are doing. They work very hard. They add value and they deserve respect. My wife bought my form for me when I aspired to go to the Senate. She proudly put money together and bought form. And to me, that presented a challenge that a woman will, from her savings, to some of her friends and buy a nomination form for you to contest on the platform of PDP. I think that itself was very commendable and is always there. So we have to respect them because we are where we are because of their sweat, because of their input, because of their contribution. It's part of what we have to do to deepen humanity, to show respect to humanity, and of course, to see life beyond friend. Look at friendship. Look at perspectives that are deeper.
Now you've said a lot, and I'm just listening, and I'm recounting because saying that your wife bought your
The
signature-
form.
the form for you.
Mm.
It's so just like what Francis said. We on this side of the divide, the young man in us right now is something strange. But I'm going to ask you a different question. What
Yeah,
exactly?
but she also did that because she also tries to protect her interests and her flank. She also wanted to protect her flank.
Yes.
She wanted me to rejoin her in the Senate.
Absolutely.
I mean, because I was out for some time, I had spent a lot of time serving this state and Nigeria. Was chairman of council, was special advisor. For 8 years, I was on the public state House of Assembly speaking for Nkpareni. That, of course, created some form of sacrifice for her because she stays in Abuja. So she was anxious that I must come back to Abuja.
Come back home.
She prayed every day, every call that I should make it to the Senate. Now she's very happy, and her friends are also very happy, and that's why sometimes she presents herself readily to drive me to work.
Now back to my question. Listening to you, your background, what exactly drove you into public service?
Absolutely.
Into
politics.
Because
That's a
from
great
what
question.
you said, it's more of service. I mean, we have this notion, we have this perception of Nigerian politician that is just go there, eat from the national cake, have your own share. But listening to you, what exactly made you go into public service?
Well, I began earlier with a passion for writing. I'm a writer. I think I read virtually all the series in African Writer series. Watungo, Achebe, Shoinka, Peter Abrahams. I read extensively. So growing up, I wanted to be like Peter Pan, Peter Inaguru. I said, maybe I should switch to law. Be like F.R.A. Williams, be like Gadifa Wemi, and the rest of the great legal minds. But at some point, I was persuaded to join politics. And readily, I saw it as a platform of service. You must put in your best to help and sacrifice as it were. Because if you're not prepared to sacrifice, you have no business being in public service. You must be exposed to discomfort. You must take some risk. You must look at the larger picture, which is the public space, and that is what drove me into politics. This part of this was clearly shown when I served in Biden as chairman of council. I lived in the village, as it were. Biden is not very. It's not what one can describe as a very urban, sophisticated environment. So I lived there throughout my years as chairman of council, and to me that was a sacrifice because I could have chosen to live in Uyo, with all the comfort. And you know what it means to live in the village, as it were. Everybody who had a problem came to you. If one had a stomach, if one had a problem with the wife, came to you. School fees, health issues, all manner of pressure. I absorbed it. For those years, I served as chairman of council, living among my. And to me, it was fun because it made me able to address their problems. I made sure the place was very secure. Because once they knew that chairman was on ground, it was easier to get the boys to maintain peace in my place. And I must always thank my people. By name, they have been wonderful. The confidence.
Yeah.
They have given me a strong foundation. The support has been enormous because they trust me. When I speak by name, my people trust me, but they know that I don't tell lies, that they can depend on my judgment and that I mean well for them. For a woman chairman to live in the village, as it were, for those years, living with his people, addressing their needs, working for them, showing transparency. And this they have shown by way of appreciating over the years. They sent me to that assembly twice. In fact, I was even asked to return as chairman again. I was asked to return as chairman. I was asked to return as chairman. I said, have you been? They said, no, we like what you are doing. We like your infrastructure, your simplicity, your sense of service. Remain as chairman of council. I've been saying it. I have to go on. So then okay, go to the House of Assembly. I went there twice. I think I'm the only person who has gone to House of Assembly twice. And we even asked to go for a third term. If I choose, I said no. So, and I must really thank my people, especially the elders. Obong the Esodoyan, great elder statesman, he blessed me mightily. John Foribanga, who was my grandmother, blessed me. Great elder Joe Udobia, great man. So I was very lucky to work with them. They showed me the way. And of course, the youths have been very wonderful. And along the line, I was privileged to work with Senator Udo Udoma, great Nigerian, a rare breed in this part.
Absolutely.
Gave me a lot of mentorship. I thank him every day for being there for me.
Absolutely. You're just joining us some almost a quarter to the top of the hour, and you're enjoying Rise and Shine. It's a special program on Spectrum TV right now. The edition is really even more special, not only because we're focusing on Governor Moino at 1, but also because Planet 101.1 FM and Tangsi 102.7 FM are part of the bouquet, and all of that carrying one man to the world. Distinguished Senator Ekong Sampson is our studio guest. Is right there in the National Assembly, on the front row in the National Assembly, representing Akwa Ibom South, but it's also here because the National PDP caucus chairman. Many thanks, distinguished Senator, for staying with us. So let's come now to what really, in some sense, brought you here. The Emergence. By the way, this is a fantastic book. I know you love books. Yes.
From Anita
Hussein, yes.
You know, we discussed it at our book club.
Yes.
Your book club.
Yes.
I'm patron.
Absolutely. You're sponsor. When you say patron, people may not even understand. You've done everything for your book club. And the founder there, Dr. Debenana, is actually very grateful. So, where were you in the picture when it began to seem as if there was going to be a Governor Omoino in Akwa Ibom after Mr. Dumi Emmanuel at the time?
Yes, I was in the picture from the earliest of times.
Oh.
You know, Pastor Omoino is my in-law. The wife is from Planning. And what some might not know, Bush, this may be a day for revelations, is that where the wife comes from is where oil was first discovered in Nigeria.
Oh my!
It's one village called Ekong. So when I was a council chairman in Pioneer, my attention was drawn to that fact, and I went, found the oil wells as it were, and I took the story up. Yes, we've heard about a library. It came later in commercial quantity, but historically, oil had been discovered in Akwa Ibom State, called, as far back as 1952 in Ekong. And that's where the wife of our governor comes from. So when my attention was drawn to that, I worked hard to attract some basic infrastructure to that community, and school, water, so. But I took the story up because we've not told our story enough. We've not told our story.
Absolutely.
And in this country, if you don't tell your story, who will tell your story for you? And we just have to tell our story. And from my research, from my writings, I try to tell our story, create the narrative, amplify perspectives, and draw attention to your strength, to what you have. Because if you don't tell your story, nobody will tell your story for you. So for the Pastor Mono project, I was there from the beginning. it was fun. Because I saw in him a mature person who will build upon the foundation that Governor Udo Emmanuel had built. We've been lucky in our state. We've had good leaders. Bonta did very well. Nkanga did very well. Kwabio did very well. My boss, Udo Emmanuel, did very well. Industries. He created a mindset to me that remains impactful and then brought on. And there was this massive buy-in. You know, you can bring a product, you can bring an aspirant or a candidate. There is no buy-in. For Umoeno, there was a ready buy-in by private people. And that, to me, could be traced to the content in him. I made it very clear when we were campaigning that Pastor Umoeno will bring in content aboard. You know, that he will build a strong economy, that he will secure our space, that he will develop our rural environment. He also said that he will bring a lot of simplicity governance. And one likens him, some instance, to King Kanda of Zambia, very humble leader who connected with his people. Because it is important that we demystify government and governance. We shouldn't see government as a behemoth, as a very distant, frightening pastime. Government belongs to the people. People should be able to be comfortable within the governance matrix. So, people are very comfortable with Pastor Umoeno, a very simple man. He connects with the people. So, that endeared me to the project.
Okay.
And that also explains the buy-in that came in when it is you came up.
Fantastic. Ime Emmanuel will take over from me right on the heels of you answering my next question. And 12 months on, when we say a senatorial critique, how do you tackle that?
Well, I think the first perspective that one might look at now is the synergy. I've mentioned connecting people to policies. It's very key. But the missing link, government is not a mysterious, frightening behemoth. The underlying challenge we have in governance in Nigeria is your ability to have buy-in from your followers, from the people. Now, Pastor Umoeno works hard for synergy. We in the National Assembly are comfortable with him because of the synergy that exists. You won't hear Abuja front, your front in this part. Yesterday, I was with the Senate President, His Excellency Godswill Akpabio, in Ibono, and he was very clear that he will support Pastor Umoeno to succeed. And those were reassuring words from the Senate President that the National Assembly, will support Pastor Umoeno to succeed. Nobody makes such comments with no synergy. They were reassuring words as well. So the synergy makes it easier for collaboration. It makes it easier for projects to be assessed. It makes it easier for teamwork. So I gave it to him, gave it to Pastor Umoeno, that he scores high marks working for synergy in the National Assembly with the arms of government. This is critical.
Okay.
All right. Now, you are the vice chairman of basic and secondary education in the Senate, the 10th Senate. I want to ask you,
which committee are you chairman of?
chairman committee on solid minerals.
Solid minerals, yes. Okay.
But you're still in
I'm a
it.
minor.
Oh, you are.
Yes.
So you're in Mirage of
By virtue of that appointment.
Mining licenses, because we have to get them. Acquirable investors must get involved in the solid minerals sector.
Mm.
We must be involved in mining. Our state is strictly endowed.
Mm.
Nigeria is strictly endowed. So, Bush, your team, we must aspire. Acquirable must explore the opportunities that the sector offers. The mining sector. We just have to.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Now back to my question. As the vice chairman of Basic and Secondary Educational Committee in the 10th Senate now, let's look at the policies that has happened. I want us to look at the educational system as at your time and right now. What do you think are the policies that we need in the secondary educational system in Nigeria?
Training, building capacity, provision of infrastructure. We need the schools to be better equipped because the trajectories are changing. Get the schools fully equipped, get the teachers well trained, motivation, very key, very key. You know, we're moving. When I spoke, you know, I'm passionate about education. You know, as a senator, I want to be remembered for whatever I can do to develop our space, make it better in terms of education. And that's why I'm bringing jam centers to my central districts, well spread jam centers. Of course, you know that I established a school, I got it well funded, ran tuition free, and it's one of the best in the state. So it's important that we offer training, we offer motivation to teachers, put basic infrastructure in place, because trajectories are changing. We are now in the times of AI, artificial intelligence. You know, we are moving from the known to the more challenging. And how do you do this? You know, we must create a conducive environment for learning, a more conducive one for learning, and explore frontiers of collaboration. You know, we also need to look outward sometimes, look beyond the states, send our youth even outside the country to go and learn, share knowledge. They come back refreshed, as it were. So those are principal parameters that we need to look at: training and capacity, infrastructure, conducive environment for both the teacher and the students.
Now, we have less attention on technical education, most especially in secondary school, because we want us to look at the technical aspect of, we have less people who are interested in using their hands. We're looking forward to having young Nigerians who will be able to make out things, make out crafts. What do you think can be done in the technical education?
Motivation.
Okay.
Motivation. And we also need to talk to our youths that government, yes, maybe sweets, but you need to develop yourselves. A lot of, which is okay, a lot of our youth look up to government, look up to opportunities in government. It's quite okay. It is a democracy. But you have to identify your goals and where you are going. Develop yourselves. Governments will help you. The traffic to the pathway of councillorship, chairman of council, house member, you know, appointees, is huge. So many people want to become councillors, government chairman, so good. And sometimes they neglect the fundamentals, which is self-development, that discipline, that you must create your own foundation. Everybody cannot become Ekong Sampson or Michael Bush. Michael Bush began from somewhere, developed his content, and today he is a celebrity. Ekong Sampson grew up in Kodabasi. On the streets, as it were, did a lot of stuff, selling, riding bicycles, long distances. But he had his eye that this is where he was going, and took his studies very serious. I read like mad. I read everything. As a boy, I read virtually everything.
And he still do.
I was passionate. In fact, at the time, my dad thought I was going crazy. I read virtually all the series in James Ali Chase. I read Lobster Rampa. I read everything, and I was barely 12, and the rest is history. So I appeal to our youth, great youth. We have very great youth in our state. Please, while we don't take our eyes off politics, let us see how we can develop ourselves, have that discipline, have that foundation. Because you must put something on something. It's very key. We have very well-behaved youths, well-groomed, ambitious, well-focused. What we need to do is to develop those foundations, and they will fly.
Senator, let me still take you on the educational aspect. You mentioned you're a minor by the virtue of your office, and of course also calling on the business community, particularly in the Akwa Ibom State, to invest, which is the right thing. One of the things that is keeping us away from gaining is our inability to take the right actions, and I love the fact that you made that appeal this morning to the people. But I like to come from a different perspective. Nigeria, like you rightly stated, Akwa Ibom, we're all blessed. Natural resources, mineral resources, the solid minerals and all of that. But our educational system is lacking behind in terms of giving us the right environment for people to study. I mean, you still wake up and see people going to the university to study courses that are irrelevant at this material time presently in the world. But countries who do not even have mineral resources, from the onset of the world gold, their children are being taught how to mine these minerals. So, in your capacity at the National Assembly, what efforts are being made to completely change the narrative, some kind of a system overhaul, so our educational system will begin from the present generation? Let's know from the primary school, from the secondary school levels, we have mining of minerals being taught, and people from Nigeria can actually grow to become experts instead of us consistently importing the experts, and then the money that should have generated or should have gone around Nigeria is sent out of the country.
Yes, the focus is very strategic. In virtually every input that I give in the Senate on education, I made it very clear that we must broaden access to education. We must look beyond the conventional to the more challenging terrain, as it were. Mining is one area that is overlooked in this country. There's a lot involved in mining, a lot of opportunities. Now, at the Senate, a number of bills are on the floor, canvassing establishments of universities. But I'm happy with the drift. But the drift has been a movement from the ordinary to the extraordinary. Let's look at artificial intelligence, technology. Yes, the other ones are not bad. The basic courses that we know, they are good. English, classics and the rest. But the drift now has moved to technology. There's a university in Kodabasi, which the very convention gave to our states. I have presented a bill to give legal teeth to that university. One of my bills that have passed through first reading on the floor at plenary. A bill for the establishment of the Federal University of Technology in Kodabasi. I'm working on another bill for another university in my central district. Very soon, hopefully, you'll hear about that. I'm very passionate about education. And I'm moving from the ordinary to the extraordinary. Moving from what we know, those courses that we are used to the more challenging ones.
I hope this is not the day you were presenting that bill. I hope this is not the day. Okay, so we have I don't know, it's an important day. By the way, distinguished senator, through you to the governor, to the president, to everyone, even the Senate president, happy Democracy Day, Nigeria. We're discussing Governor Moino at 1, a senatorial critique, and Senator Ekong Sampson, PhD, is our live studio guest, is the chairman of the National Assembly PDP caucus. And we just are excited to have him. He's also chairman, Senate Committee on Mining. He's also vice chairman. That's
Education.
from on education.
Basic.
Wow. Basic education.
Basic and
Okay,
secondary
superb and all of that. Okay, so what we're going to be doing now, we have tours around the world, Francis and Ime. We'll go to Lagos. We also would go live to the UK, I hope. We'll try Australia if they are awake, and then, of course, the United States. But right now, Lagos is on the line. And best is Dan Chris Sebie of Nollywood. Dan Chris, good morning. How is Democracy Day in Lagos? And what do you have to say to Senator Ekong Sampson, especially as it has to do with Governor Moino at 1? Take it away from Uyo.
Good morning, studio. Happy Democracy Day to our Ibomites all around the globe. And then good morning to this. I am proud to call him a distinguished senator. I don't use the word most of the time.
Absolutely.
I'm
I get
proud
it.
to call him a distinguished
I get it. I agree.
Yes, because from the way he has spoken, in fact, you are trying to encourage some of us who see governance as some kind of cult. But he has made it so simple this morning that I'm wondering if us sitting here will not want to attempt to be governance. But it's a good thing. It shows the wealth of resources we have in Akwa Ibom. In fact, the last 10 days, the people you have brought on the program, I mean, I am wondering, this really exists, but of course, flesh and blood is the distinguished senator. Yes, he said it's, I mean, I can even touch him from the, from the screen here. So relaxed, and from his antecedents, I mean, it goes to show that there's a lot of hope for us. First, from Akwa Ibom, and of course, Nigeria, where we have people like this in governance and still in governance. And I just pray that it keeps up with it. I will just quickly go straight and ask. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. It's a pleasure to meet you. I would say it's a pleasure to get to know you, and I'm sure as time goes on, I'll get to meet you in person, so that we can also be part of, making the next 1 year of Avoid a success. Because I can see that you're also advising him and advising him. Thank you very much for your good work. And please keep it up. We need people like you to encourage us young people. We are still young, and so that we can also be in politics to see how we can help our district, grow. The opening statement from the boss was that you are a different person, and I could see in your being that you also, sound like somebody who is different. When it comes to the aspect of governance, people in government, how it is, how most Nigerians see people in government. My question would be, why have more men like you not more in the business? Why don't we have people like you more in the business of governance? being very vocal. Like, was in the Senate. He was there. Well, we may say that those with ruler capacity are always the noise makers. But we need to see more of you in governance. It will encourage, a number of us to know that, yes, truly, we have people in government that we can hold accountable, in the business of governance. Why are we not having men more like you? And some of them, sometimes they go first failure, second failure, they are out. What will you say to this? That is one. You seem to be part of, you seem to have interest in education, from what I've listened in the studio. Akwa Ibom Lower, back in the days, used to talk our egg, jam, and the rest of them. Like in the last few years, we've lost that pedigree. I mean, what are we doing to? What are you doing? What are you doing to encourage history and education in our schools in Akwa Ibom? Most of us are beginning to, for want of word, we are losing value of what is around. Most people from Akwa Ibom now speak other language. They are not even encouraged by our own local language. How do you see some of these things? How can we encourage our youth to think Akwa Ibom, live Akwa Ibom, to believe in Akwa Ibom, and then can now sell what we have, globally?
Dan Crisebia in Lagos. Thank you.
Yeah, I think in terms of participation, the space is open for participation. The field may be rugged. I mean, in Nigeria, it is even said that politics in Nigeria is more scholar. For the strong man. But I think beyond the strong man, it's need for us to build the strong institution. We are where we are because we don't build strong institutions. We are emotional. We have a penchant for sentiments, and we look at pity. Nigeria must look beyond pity. We must look at value, because the world will leave you behind if you continue to wallow in lamentation. Africa must move beyond pity to value. I hold this so dear to my heart, and that's where the issue of focus comes in. So I will encourage intellectuals to participate in the political struggle. To me, we are safer. The more intellectuals we have in politics, the safer the field is. We shouldn't be scared or to be discouraged. I'm very happy that today marks our Democracy Day. It's very key, but it shows that the truer, the finer ideals of democracy are getting entrenched in this country. And to me, this is a cause for joy. There is no sane substitute to democracy. And to intellectuals, the field must remain attractive. We must not be discouraged. Yeah. I set up to be a great writer and to be a lawyer. Of course, I still keep faith with those attachments, my writing, my poetry, and of course, the legal profession. But beyond that is public service. So my appeal is that intellectuals must not be discouraged. If intellectuals leave the space for all manner of elements, there will be complete confusion and even anarchy. There have been setbacks, yes, but there are setbacks everywhere, even in civilized climes. The fact that there are those setbacks should even present a strong case for scholars to aspire to come aboard and share from their perspectives. Because if the more scholars we have in politics, the more intellectuals we have in politics, the richer the space. We will have a traffic of opinion. we have a confluence of ideas, and democracy would be enriched. In terms of what we need to do to broaden access to education, which is a major plank of my being in the Senate, all hands must be on deck. And we must start from the fundamentals. That explains why I appeal to our people, especially our youth, to look at content, self-development. You know, there are too many eyes on councillors, elective offices. Some see this as the shortest cut to prominence. They should equally be strong eyes on content, how one can develop oneself so that something can land somewhere. We have great youths. At the Senate, I'm bringing more jam centers to my central district. I'm very happy to say this. There's a school called St. Vincent's in Okobo.
Okay.
Great school. They played a lot of good football those years. You know, I was so much involved in football. And we hear about St. Vincent's in Otero. I'm bringing a jam center to that school. I'm going to put a lot of structure in that school. Turn it around. St. Francis in Ikorataku. Our dear governor is doing something in that school. And that's very commendable. Shows our governor is passionate about education. But when I marked my birthday last year, I went to St. Francis in Ikorataku and promised them that we're going to do something in that school. So if you check the budget, 2024 budget, you see jam center in that school. I'm bringing a jam center to St. Francis in Ikorataku. There's a school called Excellence College in Pioneer. A school that is so dear to my heart. I'm bringing a jam center to that school. We're fully equipped jam center. Fully equipped. And I don't mind putting every dime I have in education. So I'm going to do a lot in education. At the Federal University of Technology, Karawasi, I'm bringing a major project there. It's there in the budget. And I'm monitoring it. In fact, I've set up a team to monitor all my projects and ensure that they are done and done well. So you see it in Federal University of Technology, Karawasi. You know what I'm also bringing in there. And of course, I've said earlier that one of my bills is that giving legal teeth to that university. But this university, they need to give it legal teeth, clothe it with safety belts that the law provides. Because the law presents a safety belt for every institution.
Yeah, distinguished. I know that Francis would like to follow up or ask his own question, but I just want to follow up on that. Just now, you told us you were planning another university.
Well, what I said that quite frankly, we need to have more universities specialized.
Oh.
Just to establish.
So which one are you coming up with next?
I don't want to disclose that one.
I know you will not answer that question.
They feel is strategic. You don't let that feel. But part of what I'm working is to get another university in my entire district. There's one in Korapasi.
Yes.
Why can't we have one in Eket?
Okay, but what about funding?
I'm just giving you the hints.
Yes, I understand that. But what about the funding?
There are places in the country where you find a university in virtually every village.
Yes, but what about funding?
We are so richly endowed.
Are universities in Nigeria well funded?
Eket Central District is the major contributor to the economy of this country.
But are universities in Nigeria well funded? For instance, University of Uyo, is it well funded?
Yeah, it depends on the attention. It depends on the priority. And that is part of what's giving us this missing link in the country. We need to fund education much more. We need to prioritize. So for a central district that I represent, that contributes so much to Nigeria, I don't mind pushing for even more universities in my central district, because we are working very hard for the one in Oron to take off very fully. It's part of my commitment in the Senate, the Mother University in Oron take off the way it should. I need more universities in environment. I need a university in Ekong. I need it. It was I'm putting so much.
So you would have 3 universities.
I don't mind having it even in every government area in my territorial district.
That would be nice.
I'm passionate about. See, we will remain in the woods if we don't pay proper attention to education, and we must move from the conventional to the more challenging areas.
So they have maritime university in Oron, technology in Ikorobasi University, and so they are going to oil university in Ekong.
Maybe mining. Mining.
You know, educate is it don't fear. That name will be incomplete. That university. So it deserves one.
Wow.
Yes, it deserves a university.
Wow.
And if I may disclose, that forms part of my commitment working for it. We do more. Don't forget that we are major contributors to what comes to this country.
Absolutely. Yeah, Francis.
Okay. Just to let the radio audience know that you can, join this conversation on 0704-541-7707. Of course, the phone number is on the screen for the international audience to join also this morning. But, Senator, you've talked about education, and you've just mentioned the fact that...
While we are saying senator, you should be saying my senator.
My senator, okay. Okay, so my senator, you've talked about education with so much passion. You've mentioned a thing I wouldn't want to touch here. I'll discuss that one off camera. But let's come back to Akwa Ibom State. His Excellency Governor Pastor Umoino is celebrating 1 year in office. You're a senator under the platform of the People's Democratic Party. His implementation agenda is the RISE agenda. First question, what is the national perception of His Excellency Governor Pastor Umoino?
I can answer it readily. The perception is that Pastor Umoino is doing well as governor. My colleagues, virtually all my colleagues, senators who have spoken with me, speak well of our governor. They described him in glowing terms. Focused, simple, effective, efficient. See him as a very efficient person. They see him as a bridge builder. I don't flatter. I'm not giving to I just say it as it is.
Absolutely.
I'm in New York today because of Akwa Ibom people and our governor. I've been in Abuja. If I'm trying to see how I can get back to Abuja today. But I have to touch base in solidarity with our governor and democracy in the country. I find it uplifting when my colleagues will tell me, distinguished, that your governor is doing well. He's a very humble person. He's God-fearing. He respects institutions. It's well known that our governor has a lot of respect for the Senate president. And that rubs, of course, that's clearly, has a mark on my colleagues. Whenever they come to Akwa Ibom State, they see our projects, see roads being constructed. They observe the peace that prevails in the state, and they see the humility in our governor. They come away with great impressions about Pastor. So readily, Abuja has good impression of Pastor Moeno. I can say that. And of course, I said earlier that just yesterday, the Senate President said in Ibono that he will support Pastor Moeno to succeed. And my colleagues were clapping. My colleagues were nodding. Of course, you know that senators are very exposed dignitaries. I mean, these are big boys, big players. they wouldn't nod if they did not agree with the contents of the comments from the Senate. You know that he will work with Pastor to succeed as governor. And I want to thank Pastor for the respect he has shown to his predecessor. I mean, because we were worried that we can't maintain a cycle of conflict as it were. You know, I was impressed when the Dakada Towers was named after Governor. It means that after Pastor Omeno has completed his tenure, 8 years, someone coming after him will also name a superstructure after him. Because gratitude is key in governance. It's key. We shouldn't have a culture of ingratitude. You know, so Pastor Omeno has shown gratitude to Governor Udo Emmanuel and to quite a lot of people. And I think this is value driven. It's very key. Because of even myself, I'm worried. You help somebody to assume power, he turns tiger. But then there's also a piece of advice for the kingmaker in Nigeria. The kingmaker should also exercise some restraint. Don't break down the neck of the king. So that is what also brings a conflict in some areas. To help somebody to get into power, you want to dictate to him everything. Even when he should go to the toilet. I think I don't subscribe to that kind of practice.
There's the way Senator.
So once you help somebody to assume power, also respect yourself, and that person will also respect you. Don't allow him to breathe. So in our state, there's a mutual understanding. The predecessor respects himself, respects his plans, and that earns him respect from the successor. I think this should tell a story to Nigeria.
Exactly. Now, just before I let Ime come in and the boss himself also join, Oron, Ikorekpene, or Akwa Ibom South Senatorial District, where we are from, where I am from, particularly from Ewang, very close to Ibaka, the axis where the deep sea port project is located. And it is not just an Oron thing. It is not just an Akwa Ibom thing. It is a Nigerian project. So I'd like to ask, I know a lot has been said so far about it, but as a senator, that is your constituent. What is your hope? What are your plans for that sector? How are you collaborating with the governor and the Senate president to ensure that there is speedy completion of that project? Because that's what Akwa Ibom people and Nigerians are asking for at this point.
The deep sea port is a superstructure. It's one massive investment that will change the face of our states. And at the Senate, we are working very hard to ensure that the project takes off. You have to work with the center, with the federal government, and that explains my pleasure with our governor, working closely with the president. You need the support of the center to get the deep sea ports on the ground. You need to get the big players to work with you. The Senate President, myself, Aneka Mbasi, my colleague from the Senatorial District, members of the National Assembly, we are working as a family towards the deep sea port in our state. It will change the face of our state. Once we have the airports, doing very well, as it's doing very well now, and we add the deep sea ports and the industries, wow, Akwa Ibom will be hot cake. We are richly blessed. So all hands are being put together at the deep sea port and see the light of it. It's one massive project. We must not leave it only to the state government. We, the National Assembly, all of us, because at the National Assembly we speak with one voice, more or less. We're like a family. And the Senate President is the most senior among us. We are on one page about the deep sea port and working with the federal government, supporting the state government. The project should see the light of the day. We are very hopeful.
Now, still on projects, let's talk on projects. Now, we've seen in some states where senators and the governor are not in good terms because of projects. Now, what is your level of collaboration, partnership with the governor in delivering projects to your senatorial district? Because I'm saying this because there are some senators that will tell you, this is my project, and the governor will say, no, this is my project. I want to do this, don't do this. And what is your level of collaboration and partnership with the state governor in delivering projects to your constituency?
Well, I feel that Pastor Mono is not just my governor, he is my in-law. Patience, the wife, is my sister. So I'm very close to the governor. I share in his passion about infrastructure. We collaborate, we work together. And I thank the governor for his message that whatever you bring, you find, bring to the table, and we share. I'm bringing a number of projects from Abuja, and in fact, I'm talking to the state government very strongly to invest in solid minerals, in mining, because from my office in the Senate, I want to explore for our people boundless opportunities in mining. So I'm talking to the state government, and so far the signals are encouraging. So whatever anyone has, you should bring it aboard. So there's element of collaboration, working closely with the state governments. Whatever I see, I bring. Bush, you know that I'm also a member of the Senate Committee on NEDC. Yes. You don't know about that. I'm also a member of the Senate Committee on FEMA. Federal Road Maintenance. We're having a meeting in Lagos next week. I'm also a member of the Senate Committee on Appropriations. I belong to a number of committees. Why am I in these committees? To help Akwa Ibom State further. Because we must take some load from the state government. State government cannot provide everything. We, at the same time, must also bring something to the table. And that's why we're working together peacefully. We, every day, wake up resolute that we must not fight. And we must work together.
Absolutely.
All the senators from the state who are in the National Assembly, all the members of the House of Representatives, across party lines, parties are being vehicles. What is critical is the destination, which is the Akwa Ibom State, which is the progress of the state. So across party lines, PDP, APC,
senators.
It's okay.
Sorry.
I was just going to say it's just gone past half past the hour, and our first caller is on the line. Hello, many thanks for joining us. Your name, where you calling from?
Thank you. I am Solomon.
Hey,
From Impateri.
Solomon.
Yes, sir. That's my boss. That's my boss.
Yes.
Anyway, I actually want to thank His Excellency. I call him His Excellency, Vice Ekong Sampson. While I call him His Excellency, is given his kind of person, is the father. I was the one who president, in the House of Assembly, a very strong type, of course, approaching him, as a child. I always approach him with this grief about scholarship, about bursary, and all this he did. There was a time I told him, His Excellency, you cannot give us 60 scholarship. You are always a second timer. As Lord Government Chairman, you're a second timer. As House of Assembly member, you're a second timer. Please make this a double, and he made it 124 after 160 he wanted to pay. So he has been doing great. There were so many times I would take students to him on fixed appointment and giving us assistance, school fees and all that. But my own point is this. Recently, I have not really feel its impact. Why I'm saying that it's something is going on in Ekorobasi. Ekorobasi is the next industrial hub of Nigeria and West Africa. And as we speak, the next Dubai in Nigeria is going to be in Ekorobasi. Many risks are being, there are so many risks here. And I want to believe gas flaring is here in Ekorobasi. Bringing in an oil and gas diversity is not a bad thing. But I want to suggest to His Excellency, please, sir, in whatever way you can try, we need University of Health Science in Akwa Ibom State. because the direct effect of this gas exploration, gas flaring, and everything about this industry is going to be on the people of Ekong, Akwa Ibom State, and environment. So without a University of Health Science, a well-equipped, not by landmass, a well-equipped with good instruments in Akwa Ibom State, His Excellency, we are going to deceive ourselves. So please, sir, you've been doing this, you've been doing great. Calm down. Let's know what Sterling are doing here, and let's know how we can develop our environment with their presence. The influential almost of this project, because we don't really feel their impact on the project going on in Ekong. So, His Excellency, for now, let me stop here. Congratulations once again. Thank you, God bless you.
Thank you, Solomon. You know, I didn't mention the type of university. But you acted like a prophet somehow. But you know, I never mentioned
Absolutely,
because you must be strategic. I like targets that work. But truly, I'm working for more universities in my central district. I won't mention the type, but somehow he's priced. He moved in like a prophet. But let me say something about
distinguished senator. We'll come back to you. Let's just take this next caller. Hello.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Your name? Where you calling from?
Okay, my name is Ime Akpanapan. I'm calling from Lumudo Outside.
Go ahead.
Good morning, my senator.
good morning.
Yes, yes, I'm listening to your analysis. I want to pray to God that God should guide you because there is no better time than now. We have our Senate President, we have somebody like you and other senators and House of Rep members, very eloquent personalities in the affairs of the government. Please, sir, I want you to join on with our governor. Anything from federal that is good, most especially from deep sea force that we are that is trending on issues, to bring it to the board, to the bear, so that our government will have job, please. I know you guys can do it because there's no better time than now. Please, I am in farm oil business. We send the bishop, young doctor, transmission, mission of is very, I do 265,000, 265,000, you know. I tell you, I'm doing the usual friend, I send that car, and I'm young doctor, then tell from when doctor,
Okay, you know, just to do this, this is an international TV station, and Akwa Ibom people should stop doing this to Akwa Ibom. Every time you call a personality on TV, you must make a case, you must make a request. It's not something, well, please, you have to wait. When you see them, you do that. But also, we have to stop that habit. It's not a good habit. It's not something that we should be carrying as if that's Akwa Ibom. That's not Akwa Ibom. We are not beggars. If you need help, you can seek that help. But to just stand every time you see a platform you call, it's not something that I want to encourage, please.
Yeah, so in terms of my central districts, the oil and gas challenges, getting the oil companies to be alive to their responsibilities, a lot is being done on that. Not just Sterling. Any company that operates within the central districts must be alive to its responsibilities. We are working on that, but people cannot be shortchanged.
The governor even said that much recently.
Because elsewhere, these big players are left to their responsibilities. They cannot shortchange our people. You know, I was former commissioner for petroleum, so I know some of their tricks. Divide and rule. You know, they exploit your resources, knock it together. You know, then dangle peanuts. I'm not that kind of senator. So whatever is due to my people, I'll make sure that they get it.
Okay, there's something else you mentioned, distinguished senator, and it is good that you are saying this on this platform. Is that a caller? Do we have another caller?
Hello.
Yeah, many thanks for joining us. Your name, where you calling from?
Okay. This is a tribute that was got. Radio was often. This is not the reply.
Sorry,
Okay,
please.
thank you.
We'll
Thank
have
you.
to.
You have to call us back. Yes, we have to come back on that. Where will we? just threw me off.
Yeah, the chairman was about answering the question.
Okay.
Yes, I was saying that the bigger players,
Yes.
the oil company,
Yes.
in fact, that every company that operates in our state must be alive to
Yeah.
responsibility.
Yes, distinguished. You mentioned that
That is
one.
what
Yes.
applies elsewhere,
Yeah.
outside our shores.
You-
But then our people too, we have to be vigilant.
Mm.
We shouldn't be going for peanuts or for drugs. You know, that is part of why I canvassed that we must develop our content.
Absolutely.
Once you see, I was in Leeds last week in Bush, and a Nigerian, Abigail Marshall Katson, was elected the first African mayor of Leeds.
Whoa.
She didn't fall from the moon.
Mm.
When I went to Kenya, I saw Obama in quotes around me. Obama is from Kenya. He was elected as president of the US. Content, nothing like sentiment.
Absolutely. Distinguished, when we come back, the question that I wanted to ask, which we put in the cooler now, will be about FEMA, about NDDC, and how you can help our people take advantage, help our people to avail themselves of this opportunity. But right now, we're going to Wisconsin live in the United States of America, where our man in Nobong Moite, who's actually a boxer, he's a boxer, he likes to box people, joins us live this morning. It's Democracy Day in Nigeria. In Nobong Omesiere, what is the situation in the United States? Are you guys proud of us?
Asking about Joe Biden, Mike Tyson, welder, that's welder.
He will tell us.
Good morning, Uncle Bush. Good morning, distinguished panel.
Good morning.
Panelists and most distinguished senator. You're welcome, and thank you for honoring us and honoring the state and our people in your brilliant political career and as your capacity right now as the chairman South Caucus of the PDP in the legislature. So, first of all, congratulations
in Akwa Ibom, yes. He's the chairman of the Akwa Ibom Caucus.
PDP.
Yes, the chairman of the Akwa Ibom Caucus. Okay, excellent. So I apologize for that nomenclature. So we out here in the diaspora, particularly here in the US, we just celebrated Memorial Day. This was a day to mark veterans who have given their lives in sacrifice of the country. And we also commend and congratulate Nigerians too on the double occasion of not only the Children's Day, but Democracy Day. But there is inflation here in the US as everywhere in the world. So we are learning from each other economic situation right now with all the variables and conflicts in the world. But distinguished senator, you're welcome. Your fans and our citizens here in the United States do comment you and also have questions for you to pick your mind and to see what the party is doing to improve the South-South region as a whole, being that we are the breadbasket of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But thank you for coming on, and in diaspora say a hello and a welcome.
Yeah, before you go, can I ask you?
Absolutely.
Between Welder and Uzig, he's a boxer, right?
Yes, he is.
I look forward to a big fight between Welder and Uzig. I was worried what happened to Fury some days back. I mean, I was taken aback, but I know that Welder is waiting in the wings to take on Uzig, and it will bring back the memories of Ali and Joe Frazier, you know, Foreman, Ken Norton, big fight.
Speaking about those amazing fighters, there is no doubt that in a previous life you were probably a boxer. And,
I was at the boxing in my earlier years. I also did a lot of football, play football, road sports.
Yes. Excellent. So yes, there was a lot of concern between in the boxing community about those two fighters. But here's the thing. There are boxers in the world that we consider master boxers. And master boxers because they have such tremendous experience and talent that they are pretty much invincible, almost invincible. And there are very few in the world, have become generationally. Floyd Mayweather is one.
Yes.
James Toney is one. Muhammad Ali was one. And there were other weight classes. In this era of the heavyweight, it is Usyk, because Usyk is a smaller fighter. He was actually starting from 165 as a middleweight, then became cruiserweight. So Usyk and Evander Holyfield are the only two people to unify the titles at cruiserweight and heavyweight. So statistically, what Usyk will have as an advantage is enormous experience. And the experience level is such that he can actually read and predict where you're going to put your foot and your leg. And that is futuristic boxing. Wilder has power. Power is great, but power against skill is a problem. So Fury, I believe Fury traditionally had what was the generic advantage, size and power. But Usyk was better with speed, precision, and proactive boxing. So speed and power always have an issue. The only time they are even is where both fighters are even in skill and experience. The bigger and stronger will prevail. But with Usyk is by far ahead of both weight divisions in skill. So he will be hard to beat. Very hard.
Thank you.
Okay, Enobo, just hang on. I don't know, it's Democracy Day in Nigeria, and especially here in Akwa Ibom where we are, everyone is jubilating, everyone is celebrating the epochal 12 months that we've seen so far under Governor Umoino. Out there, whether in Wisconsin, whether around where you are, whether even all over the Americas, what do Akwa Ibom people think of Governor Umoino 12 months on?
So feelers from our indigents and citizens here in the US and also in diaspora is that there is a general feeling and a general perception of improved, not just improved, but very stable leadership. Stable leadership in the sense that this is a governor who has come in and has tried within his capacity to improve on where his predecessors stopped. One of the greatest fallbacks of leadership in Nigeria as a whole is policy consistency and continuity. A governor comes into office or a president comes into office who was at loggerheads or opposing his predecessor will completely destroy everything his predecessor did because it is spite. It's not just trying to create leadership or political legacy, but it is spite. And this spite and actions like that will disrupt policy and destroy good projects that have benefited the citizenry. So the Akwa Ibom State indigenous in diaspora commend the government because he has come in and shown very steady focus. He's very proactive, and he's really improved on the area of policy consistency and policy continuity. So he's building up on policies of his predecessors that are viable. This is really commendable, and this is something some of his predecessors in the past have done.
Thank you, Enobo Omoite in Wisconsin, United States of America. Thank you for always being there. Tomorrow is another day. By the way, tomorrow you need to be on the line because the Honorable Commissioner Information, Comridini Ememebon, will be our studio guest. Nobo, goodbye from Ibiakuran. And goodbye. Yes, distinguished.
I think I'm thrilled with his perspective on policy trust, policy continuity. So I think that is at the heart of the African disconnect in governance.
African challenge, yes.
A new leader comes aboard, becomes hostile to what he met on ground, transfers whatever prejudice he has, even to projects.
Absolutely.
Ego.
Absolutely.
And I've been very consistent. I've been very, very insistent that we must as much as possible, continue with projects. And this is where I also commend Pastor Umoeno.
Absolutely.
You know, because no government completes every project. And sensibly, a new government continues, you know, in the interest of the people. So it's very clear that we encourage continuity in policies as much as possible. You know, earlier when I served as a special advisor to the governor on political affairs,
Yes.
I said that policy must drive politics, not the other way around. It's very key.
Absolutely.
Hello.
This caller, our last caller, this morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Many thanks for joining us. Your name, where you calling from?
Good morning. I'm calling from Kemenu.
You're calling from?
I'm calling from Uyo, Aqua Basebo.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, this is Kemenu Agency Forever. I thank God for what is going on in the state. And I know it's the will of God for us to go this way, and even though we'll not get there, that we'll soon get there, because why not to come and succeed with them is the will of God. But I'm praying much, and I'll ask us to pray so that nobody, no psychopath can try to confuse him, because what must be done must be done. What drew me closer to him, although not physically, but more spiritually, is for him to make a statement that he came in as a pastor and he will want to live as a pastor. That's a great man. Not the title, but I want to say that Adakada and Arise is purely spiritual. For him to say that he came in as a pastor and he wants to live as a pastor is a plus for us, because the will of God for us is to be at the top, not just play politics, but to rule and control our resources and our nation and our continent and global. In fact, God created us to be global, and that we must be. Nothing can stop us. No devil, no demon can stop us. We must be at the top. And then don't forget too, the Aqua Cross was the capital of the Federation of Nigeria. But it was moved to Lagos and later moved to Abuja. And with the Dakada and the Rice gender, by the grace of God, we will get back what belongs to us, and no power can stop us. I believe maybe Tinubu government, God will put in him to know that what is justice must be done. And then the Aqua Cross, which Aqua Basibom people were controlling the Aqua Cross, will come back to get the federal, the federal capital of the country, to come back to where it was originally be. This is Akem and Obama Basay Agency Forever. I love you all. I want to see those of us who want the beauty of this state to be at the topmost top. Bless you all.
Okay, many thanks. I said that that was actually the last caller, but no, the distinguished senator came slightly because of the roads and then all of that. So, some messages are coming in. We still allow calls. We may be running up until 1:15 the hour, so let's just stay. We have a message on the screen.
Okay.
Yes.
We have a message there from Sunita Wenam from Cameroon. He says, "Dear Senator, sir, I love the synergy between the stakeholders. I pray for
sustained peace." Yes, sure. So there was a question I asked before. Those messages can keep coming in. That's from Victor Edem in
we also
Abuja.
have Victor Edem from Abuja. Say, "Good morning, Spectrum TV. The Senator, sir, congratulations to the good job you and other national security members are
National
doing.
Assembly members, they're making them security, man.
What are the leaders doing to prepare the unemployed population armed with the needed skill set to be key players when the deep sea port projects are up and
That's a
running?"
great question. Which goes with what I wanted to ask, which dovetails with what I wanted to ask distinguished Senator FEMA, NEDC. How can our people avail themselves of those huge opportunities there, especially our people here, and then those agencies are extraneous, they are not here.
You know, I said earlier that we must not leave everything for the state government.
Mm.
We must also bring whatever we can from Abuja to the state. That's why I said, working as a team, this is being made possible. I said, just yesterday we were in Ibno, massive one from NDDC. The Senate President was there. I was also there in person, along with some of my colleagues of the National Assembly. So, in terms of projects, we are working hard to complement what the state government is doing. Some of our roads still needs to be fixed. That's where FEMA comes in. I met the team last week when it came to the Senate, and we spoke. I also drew the attention of FEMA to the state of some of our roads here in this state. So those are the things that we are doing, working in synergy, trying to see what we can bring from Abuja. Of course, employment is also very key. Part of what we are doing to ensure that our youths are employed everywhere. And to me, this is a passion. Of course, some of them have received their letters of employment.
Whoa.
But we are working
Quietly.
More get it.
Victor in Abuja was talking about what you just answered, and I think he barely paid.
It's very key. In fact, in my office, I have a desk for employment. And I'm making sure that our youth benefit. You recall that earlier this year, I empowered over 700 of them. 700 of my husbands were given some form of grants, education, business, 700. I'm packaging another segments, which will also be on revealed with time.
Okay.
Beyond the earlier batch that were touched.
You are a journalist.
700.
Yes, you are a journalist. You are a media man. Do you also believe that when you do all these things, even as a politician, when you do things with your right hand, your left hand should not know? Because we're looking for your footages. I know that you've done many of these empowerment programs. We're looking for videos so that while you are here, we play. We couldn't find anyone.
Yes, I don't think that it's too nice that you give somebody money, you go and put it on the internet.
Okay.
If you assist.
Okay.
But there's something that I did which were well noted.
Because I even tried to call your office, nothing.
700 of my husbands were given forms of assistance. Students, business, 700. Quite a number. A lot of money went in. I think that was in February. My office is in Atabanket. And some of these details can be obtained. But I'm packaging another major intervention for my people.
Spectrum, Tangsio, and Planet will be there to take care of things this time. Yes. So this one, whether you invite us, you don't invite us, we're already there.
Yeah. But the major issue here is that there's need for us to maintain this synergy. It's very key, because without synergy, there will be a disconnect.
Okay.
And it's a thing of joy seeing everybody work together.
Absolutely.
And Abuja is very happy.
Francis.
Okay, thank you so much. A lot has been said this morning, Senator, but I'm told we still have a couple of messages. I'd quickly like to take those messages before I ask my last question.
Not last question, we still have 18 minutes.
Okay, we still have some good minutes.
Yes, okay.
I think I'd like to take some of those messages before asking my question, so we get done with that.
Okay. Is there?
Okay, so that should be from Ikechukwu Eze, all right, from Abia State. He said, "Dear Senator, sir, multinationals are exploiting Nigeria, insulting the National Assembly and Nigerian government. What punishment is the government serving to defaulters to correct this level of disrespect?"
That's a great question. Good question.
The multinationals take advantage of our weaknesses. When you demonstrate a level of vigilance, but what you have, they cannot change you. A few weeks back, my committee on Solomon, we conducted comprehensive hearings, investigative hearings into the mining sector in Nigeria. And we are looking into abuses. We're looking into infractions. Because some of these players enter Nigeria, they destroy our environment, pay out peanuts, and leave the country. A number of them cheat the country. Nigeria is losing so much, for example, to illegal mining. Who are the ones who sponsor this illegal mining? A number of them are foreigners. And some Nigerians collaborate with them to cheat themselves, cheat the country. Some of them even sponsor insecurity. Some of the security breaches that we are finding in this country come through illegal mining, sponsored by some expatriates, assisted by Nigerians. This has to stop. Nigeria is losing a lot of revenue to illegal mining, to infractions by some of these multinationals. The Senate is concerned. The Senate is working very hard to ensure that these infractions are checked and that the country is not shortchanged, as it were. A few days back, my colleague Jimo Ibrahim took up the issue of abandoned projects in the country. They run into humongous sums. Number of projects that have been abandoned in the country through the years. The Senate is taking up this matter, and we must ensure that the right thing is done.
Okay, my question now, Senator, talking about the petroleum sector, Akwa Ibom State as a major producer of oil, the people expected by now we should have maybe our own state-run refinery, or we should have multiple depots from the NNPC in Akwa Ibom State. And so far we have just two, as at the last time I checked, the one at the time, and a new one just recently sited along Calabar Highway.
Are those depots? Those are mega stations.
Mega stations.
No, we run to Calabar for
the
we run to Calabar. That is where the issue of synergy comes in. Working closely with the state government, I think this will be looked into.
Okay. Let's move on now. Whether back in Abuja, whether in New York, Governor Moino has shown some examples. You alluded to one where you said, oh, look at the governor with the Senate president, look at the governor with the minister, and all of that. Is that a good thing for those of you in the PDP? The way the governor romances, the way the governor relates like that, joyfully, happily, publicly, with the opposition. Is that a good thing, politically speaking, especially considering that we've never seen that before?
Well, Bush, we're looking at the bigger picture. What is the bigger picture? The state interest. You know, you see me very close to the Senate president. He's from Akwa Ibom State. And he means well for the state. Former governor of the state. And he did well. So the synergy is very important. Our governor is playing the right politics. Being seen with the president, being seen with the Senate president. If the state governor is not seen with
these leaders,
with the
president,
leader of the country,
yes.
Who else?
Who will be seen with Michael Bush and Francis and the men who have no help?
If the governor is not seen with gospel like Fabio, who should be seen with? If the governor is not seen with Egbo, Minister of State for Gas, who should he be seen with? So it is important, and these are signposts of maturity in governance in our state. The governor is seen with Tinubu. It's good for our state because that is a president.
Is that also good for your party? Will it not swallow up your party?
It's good for my party because parties are vehicles. What matters is the destination. That's the interest of. And this is no time for politics. This is time for development. I am PDP and proudly PDP. But you would not be fair to me to say that because I'm PDP, I shouldn't go and take picture with the gospel like Akpabio, who is my Senate president. I mean, you will not be fair to my entire district if you said I shouldn't be seen with the president, Tinubu, because he is APC. No, our governor has outlined a very important parameter. Everybody bring whatever you have to the table and let's share for the state. It doesn't matter where the thing goes or who brings it or which party brings it. I'm a very committed member of the PDP. I've done so much for PDP. It's a party that I'm so proud to identify with, build them standard secretariat in Benin. Benin, where I come from, is the largest PDP family in the state. All the wards in my place are PDP. All of them. I made sure before I became chairman of council, some wards in Benin were not PDP. But immediately I got into office, I made sure that every ward in Benin is PDP. So I've done so much for the party. I'm very proud of the party. You know, in good or bad times, I remained with this party. And that is very fitting. But beyond that, nothing stops. Getting something from the divide to help our state. So our governor is playing the right politics, being seen with the president, being seen with the Senate president, being seen with the Minister of State for Gas. That way, more things are coming to the table and then we share for a people. So what matters is the interest of the state, because you can only clap with two hands. So possibility is clapping with two hands. And don't forget, you know, I had a joke with my colleague who was in, this your governor is so wise. He relates with everybody. I told my colleagues, what do you expect? This man used to run a big hotel. You know, a hotel knows how to relate with everybody. You know, so when the governor came once and we met at Ward Bridge, we just shared jokes. We said, you are doing well though, because you have a background in reality. I think that, what of Ward Bridge? So when somebody comes from that background, he knows how to relate with everybody.
Absolutely.
And the governor is doing that to great advantage. And that has earned him love from Abuja. Pastor Mono is loved in Abuja. I can say that.
Fantastic. Ime is in the wings to come in bed in Abuja. You just took us there. The distinguished Senator Ekong Sampson, PhD. Senator Goswill Buropabio is your Senate President. How PDP friendly, how opposition, friendly is he? The President of Nigeria, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is of APC. How opposition friendly is he to you in PDP? Do these two gentlemen treat you the way Moino treats them?
Well, you know, party politics is party politics. You don't expect another party to fix your party for you. You fix your party and see what you can use your party to get for your people. But, the Senate President does not treat me as a non-party person. It was through his kind consideration that I was made chairman of the committee. He didn't look at me being a member of a PDP. You know, I'm PDP, but I'm chairman of the committee. I'm also chairman in a number of committees too.
Oh,
so I think he looks beyond party lines. He doesn't relate with me as a PDP president.
Wow.
He doesn't relate as his brother, as someone who worked with him when he was a governor and I was in the State House of Assembly, as someone that he knew from our days in Lagos State, you know, as someone who lives close to his residence in a warehousing. You know, so we are friends.
Yeah. So what about the president?
The president is a father, and you can see the affection that he has for our governor.
Politics has really changed in this country.
And you know, Bush, our governor is very fluent in Yoruba language. You know, and when the governor meets the president, he's a Yoruba. You know, just like when I meet some of other Nigerians and we flow in Igbo language. So these are trajectories. So he's good. You know, what matters is that Akwa Ibom must develop further. We are passionate about this state. God has really blessed Akwa Ibom State. We have some of the finest brains. We are so richly endowed. What we need is unity. Away from blackmail, away from distractions, away from war drumbeats. Because war drumbeats only enrich a few pockets.
Absolutely.
Selfish pockets. These pockets have nothing to bring to the table. So we should not be beating war drumbeats. We should rather sing the chorus of unity, chorus of support, chorus of inclusion. I thank the governor for bringing everybody aboard. And his lifestyle, his simplicity, his maturity makes things easier. I can tell you, Abuja is happy with Patomono.
Fantastic.
Just as follow up to
okay, Francis will start the closing questions because we've got to go. And
Okay,
then Ime will take, and then I come back.
I'm just asking a follow up. I know that you've talked about
Francis, what does that mean?
follow up to.
So you're not asking a
the
question.
senator's
now.
response.
Okay, so it's not your closing question now. Okay, I get it.
Okay, so I'm senator. Now, just to let all the Nigerians know, yes, our focus is Akwa Ibom State, but you're the senator representing the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You are for Nigeria. So, aside from you coming from Akwa Ibom, your relationship with the Senate President, how are other senators treated by the Senate President across party lines? How are other senators being treated by the President? Because it is also something that we need Nigerians to understand and then change the narrative.
Yes, the Senate President is a father. He's a big brother to all senators. Across party lines, we work together. What matters is the interest of this country. Sometimes we disagree. We disagree. I disagree sometimes. You know, I'm not a really yes man person. I wouldn't be a right and be a yes man person. So sometimes I disagree, but decently. But fundamentally, there's accommodation because you know opinions are respected and they must be respected. I have a right to my own opinion. One, I canvass perspectives that are of benefit to Akwa Ibom South that I represent. So the Oron, Obolo, Ibibio, I must speak for them. I must fight for their interest. And then Akwa Ibom State interest. Because we all come from Akwa Ibom State. And the interest of the state is paramount. So across party lines, there's accommodation. That's what I can say. And at the end of the day, we work as a team. And it's a thing of joy. My colleagues who show up praises on Pastor Moeno are from all parties. Labour Party, in the Senate we have Labour Party.
Yes.
We even had a YPP that defected my fellow to the party because we have PDP. My colleagues from APC appreciate Pastor Moeno. My colleagues in PDP appreciate Pastor Moeno. My colleagues in Labour Party, they say that our government is very mature, that is a bridge builder, that is courteous, and that he has perspective. So I work tall. Or you know how I work tall? When my government is being pressed, you know how I work tall? So it lifts my head. And it shows that my state is in good light. That my state is getting needed attention. So this is what is happening, and to me, it's good for us. Let us encourage unity. Let us encourage synergy. Let us not encourage drum beats, because drum beats only brings distractions and only enrich a few pockets. At the end of the day, the state suffers. But we're having a governor who is very foresighted, who is a team player, someone who works in the hotel industry and is for everybody. Absolutely. As I said earlier, if you works in that sector, you are for everybody. And that's good for the state.
Yes.
Now,
I'm
going to ask this because I wouldn't just let you go without asking this question. There is a little bit digression. What will you make of, the bill to change the national anthem? So, going back to like
the old anthem.
I didn't support it. I didn't support it.
You still don't support it?
You feel that I'm not a yes man. I don't. That is not our problem. That's not, to me, it's fueled by some sense of superstition. I've been very clear. My colleagues know my stand. I don't support revision to the old anthem. What is wrong with the current anthem?
Okay.
Is that we have serious issues. We have problems in the country.
I knew we were talking
Generally,
about
our problem is not the anthem. And I've made it very clear, I'm not in support of that one. That is Ekong Sampson.
Distinguished, we got to go. The last question for the road so that Akwa Ibom South people don't say, but our senator didn't say anything about us. What about Governor Moino these last 12 months in the senatorial district? Will you say your people are also proud of him? And if yes, what? Why?
Akwa Ibom South is very proud of Pastor Moino. One, he respects our diversity. You know, one feature of my central district is our diversity. Our governor respects that diversity. He promotes projects in the central districts. Our governor is passionate about the deep sea ports in the central districts. He plays politics of inclusion. He brings everybody about. He has respect for humanity. He's a bridge builder. He doesn't discriminate. And don't forget that our governor is part and parcel of Akwa Ibom South. He has investment in Akwa Ibom South. He has lived much of his adult life. He understands the environment, and he's someone who connects well with Akwa Ibom South. We are very proud of him. We are supporting him. And personally, as his in-law, Pioneer people appreciate him. Beyond Pioneer, the central districts appreciate the strides of the governor, and we wish him well. We wish Akwa Ibom State well. We continue to contribute to the economy. Our central district will continue to contribute to the economy. We ensure that Akwa Ibom State earns the respect that it deserves from Nigeria. Strengthen our economy, boost our security, and get our people to work.
Very nice. I think it's a fantastic place to leave this edition of Rise and Shine, a very special edition. It's on Spectrum TV. It's also simultaneously on Planet 101.1 FM, as well as Tangsi 102.7 FM. My name is Michael Bush. I was here with Richard, Francis Edet. Who's Richard again? Okay, there's a Richard. There's a Richard in the building. And then there is Ime Emmanuel. Gentlemen, thank you for having come. Tomorrow, we would have the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Information, who will come here and tidy up things, the comrade in the MML Bong. We're also grateful to the entire team, the Spectrum family, the Planet FM family, as well as the Tangsu family. Chairman, Satonia Fia, thank you. Not forgetting my elder brother, my big brother, Emmanuel Nkem, who is in the building. So to Richard Eno Nkeruwem, who I'm sure has come here all the way from the Akwa Ibom South Senatorial District because the senator is on the program. And you too, Micah and Obo, many thanks for coming. My name is Michael Bush, the senator, our studio guest. Is a wonderful man. I'm sure you saw that clearly just listening to him the last 2 hours. And it was very nice having distinguished Senator Ekong Sampson, PhD, who is chairman of the Senate Committee on Mining, vice chairman on Senate Committee on Basic Education, and many other committees. He's also the chairman, National Assembly PDP caucus, and was very nice having him, former honorable commissioner, former honorable member of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, former chairman of local government, former everything. Very nice, distinguished senator. Many thanks for having come. Thank you. We feel very honored. It was very nice to have you. Tomorrow is another day. We'll continue the series. We end on Friday. Goodbye from all of us.
Bye.
Bye.
Mebiaku, Uran, in Uran local government area of Akwa Ibom State. Asere.
Bye.